Hey everyone, and welcome. So if you've got a business, a brand, or maybe just a really cool idea you're excited about, listen up. Understanding digital marketing is, without a doubt, one of the most powerful skills you can have today. We're going to break down what it is, and more importantly, why it's such a complete game changer. All right, let's get right into it.
Here's what we've got on tap. We'll start with why the old school way of marketing is kind of dying out. Then we'll jump into the big advantages of digital, check out the main tools you can use, zoom in on how online ads actually work, and finally wrap up with how to measure the stuff that really counts.
All right, so let's kick things off by talking about the kind of marketing we all grew up with, the billboards, the flyers you find in the newspaper, those TV commercials, and let's figure out why they're just not hitting the mark anymore.
Seriously, think about it for a second. You see these ads everywhere. Giant, expensive billboards on the highway, pamphlets getting stuffed in your mail, ads on the side of a bus. But who are they for? Who's actually looking at them? Is it a college student, a CEO, someone who couldn't care less about what you're selling? The honest answer? You just have no idea. And that, right there, leads us to the huge problems. First off, traditional ads are super expensive. A single billboard can cost a fortune. But even worse, you can't measure a thing. You have absolutely no idea if that person who just bought from you saw your billboard, or maybe they got a flyer, or who knows? It's all guesswork. And that leads to this quote, which just nails it. If you can't measure it, you can't improve it. If you're just throwing money out there and hoping for the best, how are you ever supposed to get better? It's just not a smart way to grow a business.
Okay, so now let's flip the script and talk about a much smarter way to do things. Digital marketing isn't just another option. It's a totally different ballgame that pretty much solves all those problems we just talked about.
And this is where you really see the difference. Instead of just shouting into the void, digital lets you get laser focused. I mean, think about it. If you're selling cases for an iPhone 13, you can literally tell Facebook, hey, only show this ad to people who own an iPhone 13. You get exact data on everything, and you can get started with just about any budget.
And the sheer scale here is just mind-boggling. Just look at Meta's platforms. We're talking Facebook, Instagram, all that. You've got a potential audience of over 3 billion people. The entire world is basically at your fingertips.
Okay, so you get it. Digital is the future. But where do you even start, right? Let's break down the main tools you'll have in your digital marketing toolkit.
First up, we've got SEO, or search engine optimization. This is the art and science of getting your website to show up at the top of Google for free. And it's so important because, let's be real, when was the last time you ever clicked on the second page of Google search results? Yeah, exactly.
Next up is social media marketing. This is a big one, a fan favorite for a reason. It's all about using platforms like Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube to really build a community around your brand, talk to your customers, and of course, run some incredibly powerful ads. Then we have PPC, which stands for pay-per-click. You've definitely seen these. They're the sponsored results right at the top of Google. Now, this is different from SEO because, well, you're paying to be there. But here's the kicker. You only pay when someone is interested enough to actually click your ad. So while SEO is more of a long-term strategy, paid ads are like the express lane. They're the fastest way to get your message right in front of the perfect customer. So let's really zoom in on how a basic ad campaign works.
And you know what? It's not as complicated as it sounds. It really just breaks down into a few simple steps. First, you create your ad assets. That's just your catchy image or video and the words to go with it. Then you define your audience, who you want to see it. You pick a budget you're comfortable with, and then you hit launch. And the best part? You can track how it's doing, live, in real time.
And this is where the real magic is, the targeting. You can decide to show your ad to people based on their age, their gender, their city, or even their neighborhood. You can target their interests, like fitness, and even their behaviors, like people who shop online a lot. It's the complete opposite of that ad on the back of the rickshaw. Okay, so your ad is out there in the wild. Is it working? How do you even know if it's any good? This is where we get into metrics, which are really just the numbers that tell you the story of how your ad is doing. Probably the first and most important number you're going to look at is something called the click-through rate, or CTR. All it is a simple percentage that tells you how many people who saw your ad thought, hey, that's interesting, and actually clicked on it. It's a huge indicator of how relevant your ad is. And the math behind it? It's really simple. Check this out. Let's say 1,000 people saw your ad. We call those impressions. and out of those 1,000 people, 20 actually clicked it. You just divide the clicks by the impressions, so 20 divided by 1,000. That gives you a CTR of 2%. Simple as that.
So what does that number actually tell you? Well, think of it like this. It's your audience giving you instant feedback. A high CTR is awesome. It means your message and your targeting are working together perfectly. A low CTR, on the other hand, is a big red flag that something's off. And hey, here's a little pro tip for you. One of the absolute best ways to boost that CTR is by using something called ad extensions, or as they're now called, assets. These are just extra bits of useful info you can add to your ad, like your location, your phone number, or links to other pages on your site. They make your ad bigger and way more helpful, which makes people more likely to click, and it usually doesn't cost you a penny extra.
And that really is the whole story. We've seen how digital marketing isn't about guesswork anymore. It's about precision, about data, and about having the power to constantly get better. So now the question comes back to you. Which of these tools, that long-term power of SEO, the community of social media, or the speed of PPC ads, is the right one to really bring your idea to life?